Hello, my name is Anthony Hines. I try to provide help to job seekers because I know the feeling of what it's like to be unemployed. And I didn't like that feeling, and I always want other people to not have that feeling that I felt when I was unemployed of what am I going to do next. Basically what I did was I went out, I learned the rules, and I understood how to get through the process. So what I like to do is now share those ideas with everyone and anyone I can so that we can end unemployment one person at a time. Today I'm going to talk about mood swings. Mood swings are the various emotions you feel throughout the job search process. I'm going to give you a couple of tips about how to handle all of these emotions, because the emotions can work for you and they can work against you. So it's always very important to make sure that everything is working for you so that you can get through this process. And again, what I say all the time, get the best job you've ever had, because your best job could be your next job. Okay? So let's look at it. The first feeling you have is shock. I worked for this company X amount of time. I did all of these projects. How could they let me go? How could that happen to me? Because I was so good to the company and I was so loyal and I did everything I could, and I didn't put in for the overtime or the extra time when I could have. I showed the company how loyal I was, and this is what's happening to me. Okay, that's shock. Sure, I understand that. Let me just say, when I was originally unemployed, I had a beautiful office on the first floor of a major building in Boston. It was a great office at 9 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, after coming out of HR, I had boxes at my desk, my email no longer working, and my access to the system gone, and all that worked was my telephone. And I will tell you, I will never, ever, ever forget that feeling of having to pack my own boxes, be gone that day, lose my office, and have people who I spent 15 plus years with no longer in my life. Okay? So, as you can see, people, you're not the only ones who feel that way in some respects based on the information that I'm giving you right now. Okay? So that's why I want you to take my tips, use my tips, and try to have those tips help you so that you, when you go through the process, are a lot stronger and a lot more focused. So you deal with shock. Okay, I understand that. No doubt about it. That's natural. And the fact of the matter is, if you have a layoff that has some days or some time where you're still at the company, I want you to work your network within the company. Who says you cannot find a job within the company? People do it all the time. So if you're in shock and it's just happened to you and it just the notice has just come out or the like, I want you to think about who you know in the company who really respects you and see what kind of positions they have and work that angle until you're gone. Okay? Also, get all of the information for the transitional services. All right? Now, I'll have another podcast to talk about transitional services. But my point is, instead of just sitting there in shock, start working for yourself to see if you can land even in the company. Because there are sometimes layoffs in one area and not in others. So, if in fact that's not available, let the shock pass. Okay? You're not going to do anything well. Make sure you stay as professional as you can all the way through the process of you leaving, but let the shock pass. And then we go to the next emotion, which is, it's probably sadness, right? or a down feeling of how did this happen to me, and I'm never going to see the people I worked with again, and I'm going to not, my life has changed. These people were like family to me, and I'm never going to see them again. Sure, your life has changed, no doubt about it, but that doesn't mean you're not going to meet new people and meet new friends at the next job, okay? Understand one thing, people. The people you work with are not your friends. They're not the people you grew up with. They're not the people that you've known all your life. They're just people that happen to be working with you. A lot of people treat them like their family and like their friends, and that's nice. And I respect that. But understand, when it's all said and done, everybody's there to get a paycheck. So when it comes to feeling about missing your coworkers, sure, that's a valid point. But remember, they're just acquaintances. They're just acquaintances that you met along the way. And who's to say they're not going to always be in touch with you? But I will tell you one thing. Make sure you go out and link to them, all on LinkedIn. I don't care if you worked with someone for 20 years. If they're not linked to you on LinkedIn, guess what? When they go to other companies, or when they move on, or when they grow, you're not going to have their information accessible. So take all of the people, take a list of the people that you worked with that you really want to stay connected to, and make sure they're linked to you on your LinkedIn profile. That's how you deal with shock. You start linking to people on LinkedIn, and a nice little secret I have, recommend them. Not the small little one-word recommendation. Write a recommendation on LinkedIn for them. Because what that does is gets them a recommendation with a connection to you. But also what it does is LinkedIn comes back and says, would you like to recommend you, meaning the person that just wrote the recommendation. So now, let's say you write recommendations for 10 people, 10 great people that you work with, because you really respected them. You might get 5 back. These are going to go in your profile. Okay? So to deal with the shock and the sadness, go out and start linking to these people to keep the connection going. Okay? And recommend people aggressively so that they recommend you back, and it builds your profile. Then that way, when recruiters are out there looking at your profile, they're going to see a bunch of recommendations. Right? If you have any questions about that, again, my name is Anthony. The last name is Hines. Go out and take a look at my profile. You'll see the recommendations. You'll see the recommendations from all the jobs that I've been at. Why? Because recommendations solidify the job that you did while you were at that company. Okay? So when you're feeling sad, or when you feel like you're missing your people, go out and recommend them, and go out and link to them. Now you're connected to them again. Okay. The next emotion I want you to feel about is isolation. Isolation, let's talk about that. Isolation can be, obviously, everybody else is working and I'm at home and I'm by myself. What am I going to do? Okay, let me tell you, you're on a journey now. You're not in a sprint. A lot of things you did at work was a sprint. You're in a journey now. So if there are days that it's beautiful outside and you want to go do something to enjoy the outdoors, go do it. That's going to help you to feel less isolated. And also, start making appointments with people for coffee or lunch, because that way you're going to explain to them that you're not working and that you are looking. Bring your business cards to the lunches and coffees and get out and meet people. Because sitting in front of your computer or sitting in your house is not good, because A, it's not going to get you your next opportunity very quickly. Yeah, it may, but a very small chance. And B, you're going to solidify those connections and you're going to feel more balanced. Okay? there are other days when you really feel happy about not working. Yeah, it's true. There are some days when you really feel happy. On those days, I want you to do something for you. Go to the beach, go see a movie, go do something for you. Because I want you to give yourself presents once in a while and give yourself gifts for all you've done, for all the work you've done, and for all you've accomplished. Okay? Another thing you can do if you're feeling very down is I want you to start working on your LinkedIn profile, because it's going to build back your confidence, because you're going to see all the things that you did and all the jobs you did, and you're going to say, gee, I'm pretty good. I'm not that bad. I forgot I did this. I forgot I did that. And then I want you to add in duties that aren't in there, because you never know what the next employer will be looking for. Don't think that just because it was not that big a deal at that point, it's not a big deal now. So some of my secondary duties that I've done in previous jobs get me my next job, because those secondary duties become the primary duties of the next job. So never discount what you've done. When you feel depressed, work on your LinkedIn profile. Finally, when you have a mixed day, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, sometimes you're feeling all around, right? All the emotions are hitting you that day. I want you to go out and I want you to exercise, because now you're doing something for you. I want you to get in the best shape you can, mentally and physically, during this process. This is your opportunity. Get in the best physical and mental shape you can, because when you're doing things for you, then what's going to happen is you're going to think clearer, and you're going to also see yourself in a better light. So take the opportunity to get in the best shape possible. I bought a treadmill when I was out, and what I did was I started walking, and I tried to stay in better shape. And for the people that feel, oh, I'm old and all of that, let me tell you something. When you're in good shape and you have the skills that people want, nobody cares how old you are. Another podcast I'm going to come out with will be discussing the fact that people are older and the challenges to that and how to get by that. But today I want to talk about the mood swings. Again, we've talked about isolated, we've talked about sadness, we've talked about happiness, and we've talked about mixed. Here is the deal. Some days you're going to feel a complete combination of all those. And some days you're just going to not want to deal with it. Let your body tell you, let your brain tell you how you're dealing that day. Obviously, you don't want to not work on trying to get another job for days and days and days, because days will pass and things will go on. But the reality is sometimes you got to listen to your brain, listen to your body, and regarding those mood swings and regarding how you feel, pay attention to that. Don't fight it, because let me tell you, when you do fight it, anything you put out that day will not be quality, because your mind and your body are not into it. So make sure you're on when you're networking, you're on when you're doing your resume, you're on when you're applying. Because if you're not on that day, your work is not going to be quality. And everything you do here must be quality. Okay? Again, my name is Anthony. Last name is Hines, Anthony Hines. I have a group on LinkedIn. It's called on LinkedIn, it's called Anthony Hines Job Seeker Survival Group. Come out. I want you to join my group. I have recruiters in there. I have people that are working. I have people looking. I have a great diverse group of over 2,500 people that are out there working to help themselves in the job search process, wanting to learn more about their career, or recruiters that are looking for people. When you join my group, look at the members and make contact with some of the recruiters. They're right there. They're in the group. So why not? Okay? So my fact is, we've talked about mood swings. Now, come and join my LinkedIn group, Anthony Hines Job Seeker Survival Group. And also, if you have questions, email me, ahines00001@gmail.com. 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 Email me with feedback on this podcast. Email me with questions. Email me if you need to vent. Email me if I can give you more detail of anything I've said. Email me about people you think that or subjects you think I should talk about. And email me to get my tips, because I have a group of PowerPoints that back up these podcasts. And I also have resources that give you a free resume critique. So I'm doing this because I don't like the feeling of being unemployed. And you're not being charged thousands of dollars for all this. I'm doing it because I want to end unemployment one person at a time. All I ask is you spread the word, provide feedback, and remember, unemployment numbers may be low until it's you. So nobody seems to care about the unemployment statistics when they're going through it, right? So just remember, please spread the word, join my group, email me at ahines00001@gmail.com. Give me your feedback, good and bad. I can take it if it's bad. And remember, I'm here for you. You're not alone. There's a lot of people going through it. I've been there. I know that feeling when people don't call back. I know that feeling when it's really, really tough. And I know that feeling when you sit there and you say, what am I going to do? Well, if you listen to my tips, if you listen to what I give you, something is going to help you. And then remember, the next job you get could be your best job. So maybe you had a lot of friends at your previous jobs, but you know what? You're going to meet new people. You're going to have new opportunities. And you're going to just get into a new place. And who's to say that is not the best job you've ever had? Again, help me to end unemployment one person at a time. I want you to listen to all my podcasts. If you haven't gotten one, just email me and I'll send you the link. Also, understand, every day is a new day, and this is the journey. It's not a sprint. Let's end unemployment one person at a time. Thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.